Hey everyone, Mr. G here. We're going to be looking at TCI Unit 2, Lesson 4, Part 3, or Part C. I don't remember which one I labeled it. Here we go. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, today our lesson is about how farming affects Earth's systems. So again, we're talking about the hydrosphere, biosphere, geosphere, and atmosphere, and how farming specifically affects those four spheres. Okay, here we go. Sorry if the neighbor's dog is barking right now. Here we go. Number 2, farming affects Earth's systems. Humans on Earth need food to survive. Most food comes from large commercial farms that raise fruit, vegetables, and animals used for meat. You may not notice, but farming actually affects Earth's systems. That word commercial, we usually think of it as like, something that you see in between your show. But in this case, it just means like a farm owned by a big company. Okay, here we go. Farming affects the hydrosphere. Most farmers add fertilizers to the soil. Fertilizers provide crops with nutrients. Farmers also spray their crops with toxic chemicals that kill weeds and harmful insects. Toxic materials are materials that cause injury or death to an organism. But fertilizers and toxic chemicals can also cause pollution. Pollution is the presence of anything in the environment that can harm living things or damage natural resources. Fertilizers and toxic chemicals cause water pollution when rain washes them from soil. Animal wastes, like poop and pee, also pollute water. All of these materials seep into streams, rivers, and groundwater that provide our drinking water. They may flow into ponds, lakes, and the ocean and harm life there. Fertilizers can also cause huge numbers of green, plant-like organisms called algae to grow. Some people say it's algae, but I pronounce it algae. After the algae die, they decay, or kind of like break down. The decaying process uses up oxygen that is dissolved in the water, causing many fish that need oxygen to die. So basically those algae die and they break apart and they use all the oxygen. Sometimes living things that need less oxygen move into the pond or lake. Other times there is no oxygen, so the pond or lake becomes dead. A body of water is dead when nothing can live there. Parts of the Gulf of Mexico are now dead because there is so little oxygen in the water. Ugh. Fields of crop plants and the thousands of animals that large-scale farms raise need a lot of water. Farmers must irrigate their fields and provide water for the animals. That word irrigate means put in a system that provides water to everything. Using this fresh water can cause shortages for people. Okay, here's the last 2 pages. The next section is called Farming Affects the Atmosphere. So that was a look at the hydrosphere. We're going to look specifically now at the atmosphere. Excuse me. Okay, farming affects the atmosphere. Livestock, especially cows, produce a large amount of methane gas in their intestines, like their guts. This gas is released into the air, okay, and affects the composition of the atmosphere. It sounds weird, but cow farts kind of have an effect on our atmosphere. Recall that carbon dioxide and water vapor absorb energy from the warm surface of Earth. Methane does too. Millions of cows are raised on large-scale farms. The large quantities of methane they produce contribute to global warming. Farmers that work large farms spray toxic chemicals onto their crops by plane to kill weeds and insects. Occasionally, these chemicals mix with the air and pollute it. The chemicals may spread onto living things that will be harmed by them. Farmers must be very careful not to spray in windy weather or when rain is predicted. Okay, and here we have this picture here. And it says, the caption says, farming can create pollution in the atmosphere. Crop duster planes spread chemicals and may pollute the atmosphere. Okay, and our last section for today, farming affects the geosphere. Where's my water? Oh, I left it in the other room, I guess. I have to drink this. All right. Farming affects the geosphere. Rich topsoil is often blown away by wind when it is plowed. Running water can wash away topsoil when crops are planted on sloping land. Some farmers avoid this by contour plowing. They plow the soil in curved bands that follow the shape of the land. By doing this, running water does not wash away topsoil as easily. Contour plowing reduces soil erosion. It helps the soil hold moisture and nutrients. Tree farmers also prevent soil erosion when they cut only a few trees in a forest instead of clear cutting the entire forest. Clear cutting means cutting everything till it's clear. This method is time consuming and expensive, but it leaves tree roots that hold the soil. Okay, and this picture here is an example of contour plowing. There's a lot of contour plowing in Asia. I've seen it myself in the Korean rice fields. Pretty beautiful, actually. Farmers are developing different methods to reduce farming's effect on Earth's systems. Contour plowing reduces soil erosion and helps the soil hold moisture. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, our assignment today, research how farming affects Earth systems. Then, using the student text and your research, answer these questions in a well-written paragraph. How does farming affect Earth systems? Again, race strategy is a good one to use here. Okay, include these terms: atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and geosphere, and include quotes and cite your sources. So if you're going to look up other examples other than our text, which I suggest you do, citing those and where they came from would be a good thing. And also, if you read a book, they left a thing that says print sources here. So you would write down the book or the magazine that you read where you got your information. And then if you use a website, also leave that website down here so you can cite your source, meaning that you got your information from a different place. Other than that, good luck, guys. And I will, oops, wrong one. I'll talk to you later.